Hi there, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. Time for some updates. 4 elite performers from arguably the 4 best brands. We'll talk about what has changed, how they're holding up over time, and I'll force myself to rank them. Before we begin, I just wanted to ask you this question. I think a lot of you are aware that for any video on an individual shoe, I usually keep my videos around 5 minutes. Because as a viewer myself, sometimes I'm just like, what's there to talk about for 10 plus minutes? From a creator's perspective, yes, we do get at least double the money if the video goes over 8 minutes. But unless you're doing some storytelling. My mom is one of the worst storytellers. Like, she started getting into all these meaningless details and completely forget her point middle of the way. I didn't want to do that, but I need your help. So my question is, would you like to see more in-depth videos, or should I just keep it as precise as possible? Let's say a video on the KD17, I really don't think I need more than 5-6 minutes to cover all the important stuff, because I always jot down a bunch of notes and write like a script almost. Please let me know which type or length of videos you prefer down in the comments. I will greatly appreciate your feedback. If you'd like to see more updates, let me know by dropping a like, and also which shoes you'd like to see on the next update. So anyways, we got 4 amazing shoes to cover today. Let's start with the one that most people were asking about since I did the last update video, the Owl City 12. First things first, these guys are actually really durable. On the previous model, Owl City 11, some of you reported having issues with the upper material breaking or tearing apart easily. Not the case here on the 12. I can confidently conclude after using these a lot. While this is still stretchy, it is sturdy enough this time. More importantly, the outsole holds up very well. This pink pair has been like my indoor beaters. The silver DNA colorway, I've been wearing it outdoors, and I've worn it casually too. Both pairs are holding up perfectly fine. I didn't lose any part of the grooves yet. No cracks or significant damage on the traction pattern. On dusty indoor courts, traction would need some time to break in at first. Over time, this is a nice and firm outsole, and I did not experience any drawbacks with the grip. On different colorways, they made a ton of them. The material can be a little bit different. Most of them do get dirty pretty easily, whether it's the standard mesh or the shiny fuse covering the toe box on this silver pair. This one, it is prone to getting some scratches, but the tiny scratch marks didn't affect the performance, obviously. This orange colorway should be easier to maintain. My conclusion on the Owl City 12 is that performance stays very consistent. Durability is not a concern. You can use it for both indoors and outdoors. Adding in the full-length boom setup, this is a top-notch shoe that comes in a lighter weight with much better than average core feel. Oh, and in my opinion, you gotta go half size up from your true size for the best fit, especially if you have wider feet. These fit pretty tight and snug. Next one up, this was the oldest release out of the 4. I think they came out around October last year. Since then, New Balance has continued to produce bangers, like their Fresh Foam BB V2, Kawaii 4, I finally just got a pair. The black and white colorway of the 2WXY V4 with the solid rubber outsole, this has been one of my go-to outdoor shoes. Like the Owl City 12, no problems with the durability. They also work well against rough court conditions. Ones that have a translucent outsole, I've only used them indoors. Traction was never really the crazy squeaky or grippy kind right from the start, but it gets the job done. On any of these pairs, any court condition, I haven't had any bad cases of slipping or anything like that. Cushion is the strong aspect. They combine Fuel Cell and Fresh Foam X together in the 2WXY V4 midsole. Responsive enough, soft enough, so it's quite comfy, but it also doesn't stiffen up with longer usage. Shock absorption is also amazing on these. This foam with the suction cup pattern on it really just sucks up any potential impact while you're landing on it. Stability was great from the start and still great as we go. Yeah, I can't get enough of the 2WXY V4. These different colorways are very consistent with each other performance-wise. I just copped this icy blue Jamal Murray PE from Denver. I didn't even know these were getting released. They're easy to use, easy to maintain, and I've also seen quite a few of them going on sale in many places. Retail is $120 USD. Let's say you get them for 75 to 80 bucks, something like that. To me, that's just incredible value. And outdoor tested, yes, I can confirm that. So these two stayed on the positive side. The next two, let's bring up the Hardens. What's really impressive is the traction performance and durability, surprisingly. Well, I say surprisingly because on this black and orange colorway that I have, The interior is made up of a translucent outsole, while the outer part is solid rubber, like where the herringbone and pods are. The translucent part in the middle does feel softer in hand compared to the outer part. But this shoe, I've worn them a lot, just casually too. Still hanging out there just fine. And I wore them casually because on court, I did start to feel the weight quite a bit. I wouldn't say it's as bad as dragging my feet down, but your feet will get tired after a long sesh. Compared to the AE1, for example, size 10.5 is 490 grams. AE1 is 500 grams. These two are both hella heavy, but I could use the lift in the AE1 a little bit more. While this is not as dynamic on feet. Both have good step-in comfort. Once you throw them on, you'll be impressed. But in the long run, the upper on the Harden Volume 8 isn't the most conforming out there. So just thought I'd point that out. They're very bouncy, that's no doubt. Another thing is the all-white pair. Man, this is so clean. I've only used mine twice. I'm literally counting my uses because I know this is 100% getting dirty, like quick. Once somebody steps on it, going after a board or running into you, it's over. And it's very hard to clean, just like the Harden Volume 6 and Volume 7 in the lighter colors. Technically not performance related, but markings, scratches, creasing, especially on the foam carrier part, those are to be expected. GT Cut 3, I've had a few comments asking about if there's any difference on the EP version, so I'll just address that first. This launch colorway, mine is the EP version from the early release in China. I also do have the North American releases, not the EP version, in the same size, obviously. And let me just clarify, from my personal experience, I felt absolutely no differences with their fit, their width, material, type of rubber compound, or just performance in general. I really don't have much knowledge about the whole EP thing that Nike was doing. It seems like differences were supposed to exist with the fit, but I really didn't feel like one pair was more spacious than the other. Durability wise, they do make a lot of their shoes in Asia with an XDR also. Extra durable rubber, that is. But anyways, no difference there. Now, very important is how they've changed over time. One, Zoom X is deliciousness on their running shoes, no doubt. Here on the GT Cut 3, that type of crazy compression, bounciness, or feedback when I press down on the heel, let's say, doesn't really last. How do I explain? Like if I was to put the same amount of force pressing down hard, the type of bounce back I'm getting now is not the same as the first few times playing in these. Two, traction was never an issue, but just as an update, with more usage, once a layer of dust builds up, the grip does take a slight hit. All colorways have a translucent also, I think. And that's why their GT Cut Academy, the budget version, I think does better against us, even though cushion and material won't be able to match up. To finalize my take on this shoe, I haven't had a Nike shoe recently where the cushion bottoms out notably, and traction performance loses its magic a little bit after a while. But this is a case where that happened to me. Like it's still a great shoe to hoop in, but my experience went from an A+ to an A- maybe. I guess that's how I would describe it. Also, these haven't really started to go on sale yet, so maybe just wait a little bit longer if you're so interested. At the end of the day, it's still super light. You get good ventilation and comfort from the material and upper construction. Oh, and they apparently came up with a GT Cut Cross too, which looks just like the Academy. So is Nike exploiting this series, the GT Cut line, too much? Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, if I had to rank these in order, based on my experience playing in them, factoring in their durability as well, I go 2WXY V4, All City 12, Harden Volume 8, and then GT Cut 3. But don't get me wrong, all of these are top 10 caliber shoes. 1 and 2, I could be decisive. Hardens, realistically, some people will find them to be too heavy, but no aspect has trended down. GT Cut 3, I did have some slight drawbacks after more and more playing time. Okay, that was pretty much all I wanted to update on about these 4 shoes. All City 12 is holding up well, much more durable than the previous version. 2WXY V4 was my pick as the top performer last year, and it pretty much stays that way. Not a superstar that shines in any particular aspect, but it is a shoe that you could totally use as your go-to or beater pair on the court. GT Cut 3, Zoom X did bottom out a little bit over time. Dust pickup is kind of an issue once dust accumulates on the outsole. Harden Volume 8, to be absolutely honest, as I cooled down from my excitement initially, they are a nice and bouncy shoe with excellent traction, but because of how heavy it is, I tend to just choose a bunch of other options over this. And I think a lot of you will have a similar feeling if you were to use it as your main rotation shoe. But as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of these. Did you have a different or similar experience? Please feel free to share with us down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next one.